HDRProcessing.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create an HDR photo in Photoshop. Essentially, what an HDR photo is photographs in different ranges. So one that is overexposed, one that is underexposed, and one that is correctly exposed, and then merging them together to create an HDR high dynamic range image. They are beautiful, but make sure you just don't over edit them. So let's hop right into Photoshop. Okay, so now that we're in Photoshop, we're going to click File. We're going to go to Automate and Merge to HDR Pro. And this box is going to pop up. We're going to click Browse, and we're going to choose our 3 images. So our overexposed, our underexposed, and then our correctly exposed. So my underexposed, my overexposed are right there. We're going to click Open. And then I just need to find my correctly exposed. There it is. Open. Perfect. And we're just going to make sure to keep on Attempt to automatically align. It takes a little bit longer to load, but that's all right. And then we're just going to click OK and let it process the images. Loading. And then this new dialog box is going to pop up. Okay, so as you can see, Photoshop pulls up a full screen dialog box. What we're going to be doing is creating a very large image. Right now it's 16-bit instead of 8-bit, which already has a ton more processing power. We're going to leave it at 16-bit rather than 32-bit because sometimes it limits you from doing certain things in Photoshop, such as working with adjustment layers. We also have some different options for tone mapping. Local adaptation is definitely my favorite, so I'm just going to keep it like that. And then I also like to click Remove Ghosts. What this does is it removes haloing around sharp edges, where you bring from one color or brightness to another sharply. And especially in HDR, it tends to be brought out a lot. So we're just going to keep that off. We're going to start off with Edge Glow. I don't really like to raise these up because I find that they look super over-processed. I just don't like the look of that, so I like to keep it lower. Around there, that looks pretty good to me. We're going to hop into Gamma. If we lower Gamma, then it becomes super contrast. And then if we raise it, we reduce that contrast. So I just like to leave it. A little bit of contrast is fine with me. That looks pretty good. Exposure, I don't like to touch the exposure because I think that my exposure looks good. That's too dark. That's too light. Just depends on how you want your image to look and what your image looks like. So right now, it's perfect to me. Detail, I do not like to touch that because I find that it looks super funky, and then if we lower it all the way, we get that super artificial soft look that just looks like it's blurred to me. So a little bit of detail is fine, but not too much. We're going to keep it like that. Shadows, it depends on if you want to bring out the shadows or get rid of them. I like the shadows in mine, so I'm going to let them show a little bit. Highlight, we don't want to lose the clouds, so just tone the highlights down a little bit, and then I'm going to keep vibrance and saturation just the way that they are because I like the color of my image. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click OK and let it merge. Okay, so now that we've merged the 3 images together, you come up with a new image, and that's this right here. And then we can go further editing if we'd like. Yes, we did edit before, but if we want to add even more, then we can do that right here in the adjustments. So we have brightness and contrast. We have our saturations. Over here we have our exposure and offset and gamma correction. We did do this previously, but if you'd like to do it even more, you can do that here. Vibrance and saturation, again, that was done before, but you can go right ahead and add even more if you forgot it or you wanted to add more. So yeah, we already went through that. We can add the colors if we want to bring some, like a certain color more out in the image. Or black and white. We don't though. And just play around with these ones and just see what you like. I personally don't think that my image needs any more editing, so I'm just going to leave the adjustments the way that they are, but it's really your personal preference, and if you want to increase or decrease something, add something, then you can just do that in the adjustments layers, but that's your personal preference and how you want your image to look. And there you go, that is how you create an HDR image. Remember that you can use this for any type of image. It doesn't matter if it's portrait, landscape, whatever, you can use it. But my advice to you is to not go overboard and make it super edited or processed. You may think that it looks super cool in the beginning, but when you look back at the photo, you're going to be like, what was I doing? So just be careful. Just don't go super overboard, but that is how you do it, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm with Fran from PicturePerfect.com, and I'll see you guys in the next one.